Hey, what's up guys? Just Norris here. Today is Sunday and I wanted to go over Q&A. I'm editing video in the background, so I already answered some questions and I'm not happy with it, so I guess we gotta restart. Yep. Restarting the video. Just for you guys. Got my coffee though, so I feel better. Maybe it'll be more exciting this time. The biggest thing I wanted to go over for today's Q&A, well, I guess first off, let's back up. Yesterday was squats and bench. Unfortunately, yesterday I forgot my SD card and the computer, so I had my camera on me. I was ready to film, but when I turned it on, it said no memory card, and then I got all sad. Sorry, guys. And but the workout went well, so I'm just gonna go over the workout real fast. Bench, we did 315 for 2 sets of 10, and then we bumped up 335 for 2 sets of 8. And then I bumped up again and did 365 for a set of 6, and then dropped back down to 225 for a drop set. Squats went awesome. So just back up to last week, I did 495 for 8, 10, 10, and 12. So this week I thought it'd be a fantastic idea to try to hit 4 sets of 12. Turns out it was not that fantastic, but at the same time it just felt like crap. So I worked up to 495 on the squat and hit 4 sets of 12, and my legs were jello. My arms are jello. My arms hurt from squats. That's how bad it was. It's a bad idea. It's still not focused. I don't know why. Anyways, that's kind of a brief overview of yesterday's squats. Sorry. Oh man, it was rough holding the camera up. And today I'm just going to go over a few questions for you. It's probably not going to be that long of a video, but I don't want to sit here and bore you guys. So yeah, let me just restart my video, fresh slate. Going to go over a few questions for you and see what you guys think. So earlier I was trying to explain to Jonathan Harder. He asked, he would like to see how my deadlift training's evolved throughout the last, 8-9 years of my lifting career. When I first started, it was pretty basic. I started out, 3 sets of 10, and just kind of slowly would work out my way. I only deadlift once a week. As I got into a meet, I'd, hit a little higher numbers, but it was nothing serious. That was my first year of powerlifting, 165s. I pulled 500 that year, which 165 is pretty good, but yeah, nothing too crazy. And then the next 3 years I was on a Chico base program, and I'd mix it up a little bit, but basically what we would do for deadlifts is like one heavy day and then one day of lighter deadlifts with more volume, and then on those lighter days we'd do rack pulls as well. So that's kind of the training, and you'd still do quite lower numbers, and then as you worked into a meet you'd start to hit your higher numbers, higher percentages, and a little lower volume. Oh, too much caffeine, I don't know. I got a Killcliff coffee thing. It's pretty yummy. And I'm cold, so I'm like shaking. Chris Loudon asked, do I ever incorporate incline or decline into your press? Technically, yes, I do overhead press, and sometimes I do incline press, and I feel like it, kind of works the same area. You're working your top of your pec and your upper delt and triceps a lot more than on a flat press. So I definitely incorporate that into my training, and it definitely helps. So your bench strap should be off your chest and then towards your eyes. And if your upper delt, upper chest is as strong as, you know, your lower chest and front delts. You know, in theory, to me, the bench is going to be super smooth and super fast. So it should just be one motion. And so yes, I do incorporate that into my training, but I don't do decline. I don't see the point. So that's that. Someone else asked. He has a username Yeoman1991. Do you ever have different training cycles where you hit different rep ranges? Yes, I do. So basically my training program, and a lot of you other guys are probably wondering the same thing kind of about my training. So I have a program where it's like 4 weeks are hypertrophy training, so a lot higher volume, a lot higher reps, and it's a lower percentage of your max, obviously. So that's 4 weeks, basically hypertrophy, build muscle, la da da. The next 4 weeks are more of a strength building phase, so you're gonna have a little higher percentages, still gonna be higher volume, but you're able to just work with some heavier weight, so you're gonna get a feel for that and get some muscle recruitment going, get your CNS really firing. And then the last 4 weeks is a peaking program, so you're gonna be hitting close to 90% each week, and it's gonna be pretty fatiguing, but it's a lot lower volume. But even though the volume's not there, your CNS starts to fry out, so you definitely have to figure out your rest periods as well, which is something I found out between Raw Nationals and the Reebok one. Is I only took a week off for Raw Nationals, and that wasn't enough time for my CNS to recover, so I didn't compete very well. The Reebok one, I had another 3 weeks to just deload, and I hit one deload week, then I worked up and hit a little peak in the middle. I hit 675 on the deads and 675 on the squats, and 405 on the bench, but it wasn't super intense. Not like it was before Nationals. And then the last week I did another deload week, so I had a lot more time to recover for the Reebok one, which is a huge contributor to how well I performed. So I definitely hit different rep ranges. I do work with percentages technically, but I don't write them down. I basically just think of, okay, on my squats, 585, I should be a hit for 6 sets of 6. So, and that's right around probably 85%. So that's kind of what I do. I work with certain weights rather than percentages. And he also asks, excuse me, do you do any dumbbell work to increase your bench press? No. Nope, just barbells. Sometimes I'll do some chest flies with like cables, and other than that, like log press and overhead press, sometimes maxil press. Just different variations of presses, but I've never worked with dumbbells yet. So far I haven't felt the need to, but talking with Jesse Burdick back at Reebok Record Breakers, he strongly recommended it, so it might be something I will throw in the future. Angela Hong says, "Hi Jesse, first of all, I love you and think you're amazing, but you probably hear that all the time." Well, thanks Angelina. I don't hear that all the time. She says, "My first question is, who are some of your favorite powerlifters, both past and present, and why? Secondly, would you ever consider competing in bodybuilding or strongman?" So, past, present, strong powerlifters. So obviously you got the all-time greats like Ed Cohen. Super, he's messaged me on Facebook, so he would be considered one of my favorite powerlifters just because he's a super cool guy and he has done so much for the sport to help it evolve and hopefully get it better. So that's one guy I look up to. Currently, I had the opportunity to work with Mark Bell on PowerCast, go down to his gym, hang out for the weekend, and just get to know him. And he's a super great guy, and he's trying to do a lot for the sport, and I really look up to him for that. And just his personality, he's funny and just super relatable, and it's easy to talk to him. And I can't say enough good things about him. He's a great guy, and I love what he's doing for the sport. Other than that, I never tried to look up to anyone as I progressed. I really tried to focus in on what I wanted to do and set a path, you know. Basically, it was, you know, build your own legacy. What do you want to be known for? What do you want to do? And as a kid, I always grew up, I was like, I want to be... So this might sound funny, but I always watched like Dragon Ball Z and Hercules and things like that. And it's like, I want to be like that. I want to be the strongest guy around, or the strongest guy in the world. And I think it's so much of that mental thing and mental drive that I had that has evolved me into doing what I do now, and basically building my own path to achieve those goals that I set years ago. And you know, I never looked it up to anyone. It's just like, here's what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do to get there. And that's how it should be for everyone. You know, figure out what you want to do and set a road. You know, lay down your foundation and figure out how you're going to do it. And that's the biggest thing that people don't understand. It's just like, do your own thing. You know, you can't follow everyone else. You're not the same person. No one is the same. Not everything's gonna work for, you know, people in the same way. You know, you can get down to the science of just DNA and, you know, bone length and different levers that the body has in different people. But it's also a mental thing too. We all grow up in different ways. And I don't mean to sound so getting deep on the issue, but it really is. Everyone's different, so just set your own plan and figure out what works best for you. Alright, back to Angelina's question. Secondly, would you ever consider competing in bodybuilding or strongman? And actually, I've competed in both bodybuilding and strongman. Strongman, I love it. I work in with my current program, and it fits well with powerlifters. I think all powerlifters should incorporate some strongman exercises because they definitely transfer over. You know, I do farmer carries, tire flips, stones, yoke, and they're great additional exercises just to your core lifts, such as the deadlift and squat. Log press, I do it for the bench, and again, hand in hand. So, love strongman. I'm going to continue to do that throughout the years. But bodybuilding, I've done one show, and it was way out of my comfort zone, but I did it. I only had 4 weeks to prep for it, and I ended up taking third. But I don't know if it's something I'd want to do again. If I do try it again, I would want to take, you know, 8 to 12 weeks to prep for it. You know, figure out my posing routine, because 4 weeks just was not enough. Although I did it, I think I did very well for the time I had, but it just I didn't do as well as I wanted to. So that one's undecided. I might try it again in the future, but we're gonna focus on strongman and powerlifting right now. All right, thanks, Angelina. Matthew Lay asks, do you do a lot of ab/core work, and how do you build up core strength for the squat and deadlift? And I really have a simple answer. I think I've went over it a few times. Maybe I've just answered people's questions via email, but the biggest thing I do is just work without a belt. You know, so many people work with their belt, and that's going to help them to stabilize their hips and core. And obviously you need to work up slowly if you're going to try things without a belt, because you don't want to hurt yourself. So start out low. Like I started when I was hitting, you know, probably 600 squat. I only work up 315 to 405 without a belt, tops. And I wouldn't do a lot of reps. I'd just be trying it out and getting the feel for it. But now I'm working up, you know, sometimes I'll work up 635 without a belt. So you got to start low and work your way up. But working without that belt, you've got to brace your core. You've got to, you know, just working without it's going to build so much more core stability and strength than with a belt. And then when you put that belt on for a max, it's going to be crazy. So that's the biggest thing I do without a belt, or for my core, is just work without a belt. And that's what I'd recommend to you guys. Again, just start slow. Start with lower weight and progress yourself up and it's going to be out of your comfort zone for a while, but it will definitely help long term, in my opinion. So, well guys, I think that's all for the video. It's 15 minutes now, so we've done plenty. I think this one turned out better than my first one, so I'm happy about that. Anyways guys, I hope you appreciate the answers. I hope you take away something from it. I'm going to continue to do these Q&As because I think it's great to get just hearing what you guys have questions about and what you want to hear answered from me. So continue to post those questions, continue to upvote them so I know which ones should be answered first. And we will continue to do these Sunday Q&As. This week I'm going to do a video of probably my deads and bench, probably accessory day, and then hopefully squats and bench. So that's the goal, and I will see you guys probably tomorrow. That's squats and bench day. So I'd appreciate it if you guys hit the like, thumbs up the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And again, let me know what your questions are. We'll talk to you later.